Hello and welcome to my kitchen. I'm Judith. It is getting close to that time of year where people start having parties. You know, little cocktail party with some appies and whatnot. I thought, how about changing up what you do for appies? Get rid of those wonderful tasting, but getting a little tired, deviled eggs, the plate of raw vegetables and dip, the cheese ball with the crackers. Let's go for something a little different. So I have a block of paneer, which we are going to cut up and make into lovely little skewers. Some onions. We're going to make some onion pakoras, also known as bhaji, depending on the area of India where you are. I call them pakoras. And have some cooked potatoes, which we're going to mix with some spices and other things and turn into samosas. And to go with them all, yogurt we're going to make into a lovely mint dip, mint and cilantro, and I'll make a few other dips. We'll see how things go. I have cubed the paneer. You don't have to be exact with the size of your cubes, about a centimeter or so. And just split them up, because we're going to sprinkle them with some spice. So you can use whatever spice you prefer, cumin, coriander. There are many choices in your cupboard. I do have a pre-mixed spice rub that smells wonderful, and I'm just going to sprinkle it on. Give me a minute and I'll let you know what's in it. We're going to toss our cubes in that. So this contains coriander, salt, sugar, garlic, ginger, cumin, chili, turmeric, onion, black pepper, fenugreek, cardamom, caraway, cinnamon, bay leaves, cloves, and white pepper. No added MSG or artificial additives. So, it smells wonderful anyway. It's basically a curry powder. So we're just going to toss those up and let them sit in that spice and let it absorb all those wonderful flavors. For our samosa filling, I have some cooked potatoes, just boiled yellow potatoes, which we're going to peel. And then roughly mash them up with, oops, don't get the peel in your bowl. And roughly mash them up with, now if your potatoes are smaller, you're going to have to do a few of them. The equivalent of 3 large potatoes. So I have 4.5. The half was from a larger potato that actually got eaten last night at dinner. Okay, let's get those all peeled. We are just going to coarsely mash our potatoes up. You actually have to use a masher. And we're going to add approximately a half a cup to 3/4 of a cup of cooked frozen peas. And 2 tablespoons mint, fresh mint, and coriander chopped. And we're going to go with a teaspoon of ground cumin, teaspoon of ground coriander, and a teaspoon, 1 teaspoon of amchur, which is ground mango. It's a new ingredient for me, but it does taste wonderful. It actually tastes like mango. Give that a stir around. Make sure you don't have any large chunks of potato in there. Now you can cut peas down and add corn. I don't have any corn on hand. And as most of my recipes, you use what you have on hand. And you're also going to add finely chopped onion. Just a small onion, or half of the larger one. And I am going to add a pinch of salt. Oh, and don't forget the chilies, like I almost did. 1 second. Now, normally this would have green chili in it, but you want to be aware of the spice level your guests can tolerate. You may not want to add the chilies. It is perfectly good without them. And you want about a tablespoon of lemon juice. Okay, set that aside somewhere where you can reach it. We are going to fill our wrappers now. I'm not making my own pastry to wrap them in. I am using spring roll wrappers, which you can buy pretty much any supermarket in the freezer section. One thing you have to remember when using spring roll wrappers is do keep them covered with a damp cloth or they're going to dry out really quick. So we want about a tablespoon of filling at the end. And then we're just going to fold it over to make a triangle. And again. And you do want to have a dish of water handy to seal the edges. Fold it over. And put it on a tray and cover with a cloth. Now these you can freeze. You can actually put that tray that you're putting them on as you're making them directly into the freezer. Before you've cooked them. And when you want to cook them, just pull them out and put them in hot oil at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Frozen. Do not thaw them out. This is the onion pakora. We're going to mix our onion with chickpea flour and separate it all. We're going to add half a teaspoon of turmeric. Well, I know I pronounced that wrong. It's turmeric, but I do always say turmeric. I leave that one R out for some reason. And a half teaspoon, maybe closer to a teaspoon of cumin, but a 1/4 teaspoon of the asafoetida, otherwise known as hing powder, and a teaspoon of the amchur. Mix that all together. And most recipes say to mix the dry ingredients first and sieve them into your bowl with the onions and the wet ingredients. I'm lazy, I hate washing dishes. I'm also going to throw in 1/2 teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of baking powder. Now we add a few tablespoons of water, a little bit at a time, just to bind things together. And just be careful adding your water. You don't want to overdo it. That was about 3/4 of a cup of water. But we are now at the right consistency. You can add some green chilies, some chopped coriander, whatever you like in there, but I generally do mine just onions and batter. This sauce is going to be a yogurt mint sauce. So I have Greek yogurt. It is 2% milk fat. You really don't want to go full fat for this, although you could if you want. And I'm not making a lot of sauce, so that's about 1/2 cup. Now, 3 tablespoons of mint. And we're going to stir in a tablespoon of sweet chili sauce. Sweet chili sauce is one of my favorite things. Give it a good stir. We're going to give it a taste. That is lovely. The mint comes through. Chili gives a little hint of heat at the back. And I'm going to put that aside for later. Just cover and refrigerate and you're good to go. This sauce is a coriander relish. So a bunch of coriander, some mint, 1/2 of a small onion. You can put some green chili in there too if you like. I'm going to opt to leave it out for now. We got 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And then we are going to turn on the noisemaker. I want to push it down. So we're going to keep blending that until it is fairly smooth. Out of the way. This isn't so much a dipping sauce as something you might have to spoon on. Very nice, very heavy on the lemon. A little coriander leaves on top. But the coriander and the mint does come through. So we'll cover that and refrigerate that. This dipping sauce is going to be a tamarind dipping sauce. So we start with a 1/4 cup of water. Let's turn on the burner. And we're going to do about 4 tablespoons of sugar. It's going to be a fairly sweet sauce. So now we just need to melt our sugar. Now that our sugar has melted, we are going to start adding our flavorings. First up, 1½ tablespoons of tamarind paste. Sorry, let's go that way so you can see it. It's very dark, very dense, very flavorful. Then we want 1/4 teaspoon of ground coriander, 1/4 teaspoon of ground cumin, 1/4 teaspoon of red chili, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm just going to mix all that together. So we do want to make sure that all our spices are mixed in there. Those dried spices tend to clump and float. But once you're happy with that, turn off the heat, because it will burn fairly quickly. Tamarind's fairly sweet and the sugar and everything in there. So turn the heat off, let it cool to room temperature, and then we can refrigerate it. Got our samosas cooking. Everything we're cooking tonight is going to be at 350 degrees Fahrenheit in the deep fryer. Now you can use a pot or a wok on the stove. I'm not a fan of that. Our paneer, we want to cook really quickly, so I'm just going to put it in. So literally just want to get this to a golden brown, nice crust on the outside. Oh, you can see that? No, I'm not going to focus on it. It is wonderful. I just want to taste this. It's amazing. The texture is so totally different. I did dip it in the tamarind sauce, which is a sweet sauce. It's absolutely fantastic. So we're pretty much ready to start our party. I know that these are all fried. There are many other recipes you can find that are not. These are all vegetarian, And there are many other recipes that you can find that are not. I chose these because, oh, I love samosas, I love pakoras, and I really like paneer. It's the sauces that make it best. So the tamarind sauce is sweet, the yogurt sauce is tangy and tasty, and the coriander relish adds a new dimension to things. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it gave you some ideas. I would love it if you would give it a thumbs up. I appreciate everyone who watches, and I'll see you again soon.